G'day, Josh here. Today I'm sharing with everyone avocado sapling plantings. I'm on a property out here in the mountains of Gold Coast hinterland, and it's end of April now, so coming into winter. The owner wanted to get them in the ground. I believe it's not the best time. Spring is possibly a better time. However, we've taken a few precautions here because it can frost up here in the mountains of Springbrook. Also, wind and sun is an issue for these guys. Now I've got one next to me here. They're grafted. These are all grafted. This one's a Hass. We've also got some Rincon varieties, which is a smooth green skin. I love the Rincon. Hass is good too. But there are so many good varieties out there. But anyway, so what we've done, basically we did first of all we did a bit of a soil prep, and that was a mixture of compost, seen here behind me. So manure-based compost, goat, cow manure, and sugarcane mulch. It's still fairly fresh, but it's okay. It's got some great fertility in it, obviously. So 1 part that, 1 part sand and gravel, which I have here. Basically river sand and some coarser gravel in it, just to increase drainage a little bit for the new plants. The soil up here is alright, but I just wanted to make sure there was plenty of drainage for things like phytophthora, which is a root rot and a very common and prominent disease for avocados up here. So it was 1 part compost, 1 part sand and gravel, which is a concrete mix actually, without the additives of the stickers and the other things they put in, and 1 part native soil. So this here is a Springbrook native soil. It's got a bit of redness to it. It's a pretty reasonable soil. So the compost just to add some fertility, some organic material, the sand and gravel to increase the drainage, and the native soil because we don't want to shock them too much from going from, say, a potting mix straight into a very strong, a very fertile, almost pure compost or something like that, or a pure sand. That would shock the plants. So we're trying to do our best here to mix it all together and make it reasonable. Now there are some older avocados on the property. There's one behind me here. Few fruit on it. This one looks to me like a smooth green skin. It's not doing great. When I first got here, we had to start using the phosphoric acid because they were wilting a lot. I'll show you one up here that's wilted. You can see the leaves are drooping. It's not too happy, but it's surviving and it's okay. We'll just continue with the phosphoric acid for that one, and long term we'd rather not use phosphoric acid, and that's for phytophthora root rot, which is pretty much the main problem in avocados, that and pepper spot, which is a foliage and stem fungus. Phytophthora being a root fungus. Long-term mulching, regular watering, and natural biology, increasing the natural biology around the base of the plant with mulches and composts and so on, which is what we're doing here. Long term, hopefully that's going to be a cure for Phytophthora. Now the other thing we did for the avos, the new plantings, is provide them a little shade structure. Okay, there's one behind me here. It's basically four stakes on the outside, shade cloth, tied together. We used sugarcane mulch tie just for recycling purposes, but you can use zip ties, obviously, something like that. And inside we've got a happy little avo, but actually this one was in the ground a week before we put the shade structure in it, and it's already got a little bit of sunburn, windburn. Avos are sensitive, even after they've been grafted, hardened off in a nursery and so on. They are quite sensitive. So from what my research says about first couple of years of life, give them a shade structure, shade and wind protection structure. Also frost, obviously, like this shade cloth will protect a bit from frost. If it's a really heavy frost, we might put some clear plastic on top. Got a few more down there. So if you're going to plant an avo, even if it's a grafted, fairly hardened one, and and there's, you know, the heat and wind and cold stress is in your area, then give it a little structure, prepare the soil a bit, try and get as good a drainage as possible, mulch heavily around the edge, not right up to the trunk, of course. If you can, mound really strongly. There's a thing called an avocado, which is basically a big mound that you plant an avocado on for drainage specifically. I've seen another video where someone used a couple of big tractor tires, raised it off the ground with the tractor tires and dumped soil inside the tractor tires and planted it that way. Same idea there. Drainage, get the roots out of the possible clay, waterlogged soil, and your avocados are going to do fine then. Up here it's not that much an issue with drainage, however it might have been something we could have done strongly. We did a little mound. But you can go way higher, like maybe 1/2 metre to 1 metre. And there you have it. Couple of new avocado plantings. This one needs a wall. It's looking quite happy, but even so, look, a little bit of sunburn or windburn. We've got to get the walls up. Cheerio, thanks for watching.